Good afternoon, Rhoda. It's your host, Petty Officer Ryan Brown, better known as Poindexter in the afternoon, and we got a very special show for you guys. We're going to be hyping it up with the CMC Super Show. We're going to be going over a lot of cool information, especially with the new season in town. Do you care to talk about that, CMC?
All right. I don't think the Chief Selects want me to talk about it. But yeah, right now it's a super exciting time for us to be here in Rhoda because there is a lot of people, about 59 of them, going around the base as Chief Selects. So for us, it's a super exciting time. And I know for them, it's very tiring, very challenging, and hopefully a very impacting event into their lives.
And you know what? I think we're going to be deep diving into that a little bit more as we go through. But of course, we also have some special guests coming in a little bit after to discuss a little bit more for those junior sailors. And of course, we have your favorite song coming up. We got Click, Click, Boom ready to lead us off. CMC, I know that we are in the middle of a very open season, one that is very sacred and mystical to a very few who've been able to get through it. Can you please explain what's going on?
You know what? It is a lot of secrets, if you want to think of them as secrets, but really not. We just have a bunch of leaders going around with other leaders trying to teach them how to do things properly, right? So we do a lot of practice runs because at the end of the day, you have people who will be putting on the uniform of a chief, and everything that a chief represents, they will become that. So we want to make sure that they really encapsulate everything that a chief is. And we don't want to do it in public, so we do training in private, and we do try to drive the message to everyone to make sure that they think and act like a chief.
And I know that the anchor is very important. I know we have a lot of junior sailors who don't truly understand what that is. They've only been in for less than a year, or maybe this is like their first duty station and just haven't had that what was it? RTC, right? How long ago was that? It's been like 6 years for me. So
about the same for me.
Oh, really? Dang, I gotta work on myself. I'm only a second class. But as a junior sailor myself, like, what does that mean for us?
Well, yeah. So, well, for you, it will means that hopefully you will get the best chief that the Navy can provide you. So whenever a chief arrives in your work center or your command and you work for that person, hopefully he is giving you the guidance and direction and helping you become the sailor that you need to be. And also taking care of people, taking care of the equipment, taking care of the Navy's goals, taking care of the command, and everything in between. Because at the end of the day, whenever something goes wrong, normally you look up to a chief to fix those problems. And that is something that it is not easily defined on a book or regulations. We do pretty much anything.
Mm-hmm. And I know, what has been like the best and most challenging like event so far for this season?
So at the beginning of the season, you're going to run into some problems. Right now, I would say they have a little bit of a hard time with time management. So they're required to do X amount of things during the day, and really they're having a hard time completing that. Also, memorization seems to be a problem. So in today's environment where information is readily available in your cell phone, you have access to it all the time. When we ask you to memorize something, it is not as easy as people remember it to be. So they're having a little bit of a hard time with that.
Yeah. I don't think I would probably be able to memorize too much. I'm pretty sure just going through a lot of policy is a very important part of it. Learning the job and being the best. You are the SME. You're the person who knows about this rate, and you are now the chief. You should be able to just be like, here you go. This is the information ready to go.
Exactly. Yeah, and there is a lot of PT. We do PT a lot. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, they know how to run a PT session, and they are setting an example for everyone. So we do a lot of PTs in the morning too. That's always a lot of fun. To me, that is the best part of the CPO season, doing some PT together, getting to see them struggle, or they getting to see me struggle, and it is a fun time. And we also do a lot of training. Today we were coming out of the training, we were teaching about CPO history, and it is super interesting when you start to see where we come from, really.
And what personally has been like the peak moment for you? Like you've noticed something and it's been like something just clicked and it made you just realize, I love my job.
So there's not one thing, but I think I like the feeling of what I represent. I like to give the example. I went to a courthouse one day, so I'm dressed in my khaki uniform, and I'm walking around in the courthouse, and people will come up to me and ask me questions about the courthouse. I don't work there, but just because they see the uniform and they see the anchor, they automatically assume that I'm someone who will be able to help them. And for me, that's really one of the things I represent. And then the second thing is we do keep the Navy running a little bit. So as the officers set up the pace where we need to go, they turn to the chiefs so we can lead our way to there. So through the chiefs, we make the Navy run.
And I know you can't be a good leader without having somebody to lead. So I know we have a couple of junior sailors here who are going to be introducing here in a minute. But of course, this is a radio station. We love to play music. We're going to get you right back to it with a little bit of Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. And we're back for the CMC show. Earlier we were questioning the CMC about the sacred and hidden mysteries of the Chief season. But of course, it wouldn't be a Chief season without some junior sailors to interject and tell us a little bit about what's going on, and of course, give a little bit of information about themselves. So of course, I want to introduce our two YNs. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
And I know a big question a lot of people sometimes ask, I wonder, is where do YNs work?
So on this base, we work at U.S. Naval Station Rota at Building 1, admin department.
And what exactly do you guys do over there?
So we handle a lot of correspondence, and we do a lot of awards, and we help a lot of people and a lot of customer service.
Yeah, and what's been your favorite part about being a YN so far? Has it just been the job? Has it just been working in Spain?
So it's the different types of tasks we do day to day, because every day is different. So one day we could be busy with a lot of work, and then the next day just be very slow. So it really depends on the day.
All right, CMC, what do you want to ask them?
Yeah, so from my point of view, right, as a CMC, the YNs are really my right-hand man and women because everything I do involves paperwork. And fortunately for me, I have a great team that keep me steady, if you want to call it that, because I'm terrible with paperwork. I grew up as an aviation machinist mate. Spelling and spacing was not something that I was taught when I was coming up. But my admin team, they really hit it out of the park. And one thing that is not very well known is that their workflow never stops. So if we take a 96, guess what? There will be tons of paperwork coming through on Monday or Tuesday for that matter, and it never ends. Plus, as the day goes by, every single hour, someone will walk into the door and say, "Hey, I need X." So the workload really varies throughout the day, but it never slows down. It's always heavy. So when you walk by an admin and you see someone sitting on the computer, more likely they're going to be working for a long time because the work never really stops.
Yeah, what do you got to say to that?
It's true, the work never stops, unfortunately, but we do what we can to support our sailors. So if an MA stands on watch, they don't have to just worry about their pay or their paperwork or anything of that matter. They can just stand and watch without having to worry about anything about that. So.
Yeah, very important. Pay is one of the most important things for us because that's our livelihood. That's how we get out and about and do things.
Oh, yeah. And now, as a YN, I see two very young men sitting in front of me wearing the second-class crow. So as a career advisement, how is that going for you guys? You guys going up in rank pretty quick? How's that working out for you?
For me, yes. It took me 2 years to make second class, which is pretty fast. So I've been hitting all the wickets on my advancement sheet. I'm kind of just blessed to be a second class this early in my career. So.
That's really quick, because if you think about it, right now, someone joining the Navy today, they have to wait 30 months to be an E4. Here you are, 2 years into the Navy as an E5. So you're definitely hitting, in all your cylinders on that. So what made you two join the Navy? I'm interested to hear about that.
Primarily just traveling, different countries, of course, the money, and also education. That's the reason why I joined the Navy.
Gotcha. Yeah, they lied to you about the money, but it's okay. It's okay. We got you here. But you, Kegley, why do you end up joining the Navy?
For me, it was for the military service. I had family who served prior, so I wanted to give back and serve my country, as well as travel and as well as for the schooling also.
That's awesome. You know, that's admirable because in today's society, there is very few people who would join the Navy just because, you know, of military service. They want to serve the country. And when I joined the Navy, it was the opposite. More people wanted to do that than earn higher pay. That's probably why our pay is not that great today. But a lot of people were joining. In today's society, I think that is something that is starting to go by the wayside a little bit. A lot of people join the Navy because of the benefits that we have throughout, you know, just by our service here.
Yeah, the education, I think, is probably like one of the more important ones. Because I used to be a reservist, if you guys didn't know. And I just came back active duty because I was trying to finish out my degree. I'm like 12 units away, and Embry-Riddle has like my last couple that I'm trying to work on. So education is very important, especially when you guys like go back out. Because I used to work for Facebook, and I was not making a lot of money to sustain myself, my wife, and try to like build something. So basically the fact that you can just set a platform, you can get this GI Bill, you can get your housing, you get the VA benefits and the loans in the future, and it's just asking for a little bit of time. It seems like a really good trade-off, especially when you're coming from nothing too.
Oh yeah, and you know, if the Navy is done right, you can come out of the Navy as a very successful person. So when I look at the people that I grew up with in, you know, rural Puerto Rico, there wasn't a lot of people who made it out of the town that I was in a successful fashion in the same way that I have. So when I looked into my career, the stuff that I have accomplished and the things that I have done throughout my life, a lot of them have not had the same opportunities. And the Navy is really the tool that provided all that for me.
And one of the big things too is like just travel too. And I know we're going to be touching on PCSing. Like, can you like explain that for like a lot of new people who's like, again, their first time doing it, they don't know how to do like their travel vouchers, trying to get all their documents together, X, Y, and Z.
Sure. So for PCS, I would start early. So any documents you have, as soon as you have your orders, start packing your boxes and start planning about how you're going to get your household goods and how you're going to plan when going to your next duty station.
Oh yeah, the PCS season is something that can be super stressful to a lot of people, and an admin department that doesn't do their job will be stressing out everyone. So that's another reason why I'm super happy that I have the team that I have. Just recently, I completed some of my travel documents, and I just kept going to QM1 and just asking them, hey, is everything okay? Do I need to do anything else? It's like, nope, everything is tracking. And sure enough, you know, I recently got my plane ticket. So yeah, everything is tracking like it should because the admin department, again, is taking care of me.
And what seems to be like the biggest challenge that you guys tend to face?
The biggest challenges is just like people having their key supporting documents, like their order stamp, their page 2, make sure their household goods be shipped in a timely manner, and that's one of the problems I face too.
Yeah, I've noticed that housing seems to be a very last minute thing people tend to forget about.
Yeah, housing.
And like it's kind of important to let them know, hey, we're leaving. Can we get all of our paperwork ready to go? And they're like, how long until you guys leave? Tomorrow.
Oh yeah. So for me, the one that is causing some ripples right now is pets. So they're managing to get their you know, some of the paperwork turned in on time, but they keep forgetting to do the pet reservation. So as they are trying to fly out, there is only X amount of room available for pets, and they are missing out on that.
All right. And I think that should about cover what it is for PCSing. And I know you guys have a little bit more that you want to talk about, but I think we're going to get back to a little bit of music because Chicken Fried by Zach Brown Band sounds like a really good way to just talk about those pets, you know? One thing that we want to do during our show, especially with the CMC here, is get to know our sailors, make sure that we can introduce them properly, give them the due respect. So this way, when we talk about them, they seem like experts. They know what they're talking about. So, why are you the experts?
All right, so let's go ahead and ask a few questions about you. So we're going to start with Y2 Keithley. And the first question that I have for you is, tell us one thing that surprises people about your job.
Thank you. So one thing that surprised me about our job is how demanding it is, and how fast-paced it is.
Yeah. So when you joined the Navy and you picked YN, do you had a knowledge about how it was going to be?
I actually didn't come in as a YN CMC. I struck YN, so I had no clue coming in as a YN.
Oh my God!
Story as old as time, right there.
Yeah, but it has worked out for you though, right? I mean, you're a YN too. You're doing pretty good. All right. How about, do you have a favorite duty station that you from your past?
Yes. So before this, I was stationed on board USS Rafael Peralta, DDG 115. So it was a warship before this, and we were stationed in Japan. So I would say that is definitely my favorite duty station.
That's good. I often hear that from people, that their first duty station was their best. I don't know what it is. Maybe just the labor of love, all the work and everything that you put into the job that made it, that much better.
The luck of the draw, really, and especially like when you come to like that first duty station, especially like Rota, Europe, it's so nice. It's one of the like very big benefits that we were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah. All right. So for you, Macmillan, what is one thing that surprises people about your job?
One thing that surprises people about my job is that we actually give them their paperwork on time. I know a lot of customers talks about admin on how we so-called always lose paperwork or anything like that nature. Our admin team's kind of fast-paced. We make sure we get things done and submit it on time, including pay.
Oh yeah, it's I'll tell you what, people always complain about admin. Maybe something else, is lost or something is not on time. But usually it's due to external forces. So you have paperwork that comes in, you do your part, you move the folder or the paperwork forward to another entity, whether it's in Rota or outside of Rota, and now you wait. And in the meantime, you're processing other paperwork. But sometimes it's really outside your hands, but you are the one who takes the blame for things being late. So I see that. How about you? Do you have a different favorite duty station than Rota?
Yes, I do. Before Rota, I was stationed in San Diego on a cruiser, guided missile, USS Princeton, Huya, Honor and Glory.
All right.
The command, it was a little bit chaotic because, of course, it's a warship, but the crew kind of like bring the morale together.
All right. Love to hear that. Was that your first command also?
Yes, CMC.
Oh, yeah. Nothing but hard work and dedication, makes it all worth it. That's good. How about, let's talk about food for a second. Is there one dish that you cannot live without?
Oh, my God. Carne asada.
Carne asada?
I miss it so much.
Hey, I got to agree. I was stationed in San Diego. Here's one thing that not a lot of people know about me. So the area I grew up in, Puerto Rico, is very country. We didn't have a Mexican restaurant in Puerto Rico, in the area of Puerto Rico when I was growing up. So I never had Mexican food until I got to San Diego. And I had to agree, carne asada is one of those things that, you cannot forget about that stuff. And you always want some more. Got it. How about you, Kigley? What is one dish that you cannot live without?
So one dish I can't live without is chicken broccoli Alfredo.
Chicken? That's very specific. All right. Yeah, normally it's like pizza or something like that, but okay, I got it. Man, you have some interesting choices there, my friend. That's good.
What about you, CMC? What's the dish that you can't go without?
All right, so for me, it is pepperoni pizza. And I think it's because it has a very strong link between happy memories and me. When I was little, my dad used to take me to the pizza place when we were celebrating things, right? So pepperoni pizza was the one that he ordered. So now, whenever I have pepperoni pizza, it's bringing back those happy memories. So it is a happy meal for me.
So it's not the taste, it's the memory of it, really.
Exactly. It is linked.
Honestly, I kind of feel that because when you guys are talking about the stuff back at the States, like the food I miss, Texas Roadhouse is like really the one that keeps popping up in my head. Like, I just want some of the rolls. I just want to be able to enjoy.
Yes.
The bloomin' onion, I think, is one that my wife misses the most. So hopefully if we ever decide to go back and visit, we'll probably stop by Texas Roadhouse. All right. And earlier, McMillan, we were talking off the air. You were looking for like a good song, and I think Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar was your pick, right?
You already know.
All right. Nobody knows like this, right? 3:48 p.m. and we're coming close to the end of our show, but I feel like we still haven't learned a lot about you guys, and I wanted to ask, what are some cool facts? What's interesting? Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I am a gamer. Also, I play basketball a lot. I feel like I am great at any sport I play except for golf. I feel like if you challenge me at any sport, I feel like I can beat anybody. So
you're not going to that tournament that's happening this Saturday?
Sadly, no. I'm actually going out of town this Saturday. Going to Lagos, Portugal.
Oh, very nice. Getting some travel in.
Yeah.
All right, CMC, I know you wanted to ask somebody else another question. What do you got for him?
No, it was about the same thing, right? I just want to see what Keith Lee has to say about random fact about yourself that is interesting.
Sure, CMC. So random fact is I collect records, and I like to listen to 1940s music. So I have a record player at home, and I just like to collect records.
All right, so let me just, so you're very specific. So not 1920s, no 1930s, no 1950s, just 1940s.
So 40s and up. So any type of old music, CMC.
All right, that's good. I mean, I enjoy some of the really old music, so I do side with you on some of those things. But yeah, that's very interesting.
It is crazy to think about. Like, I'm talking like Metallica. I'm talking about this grunge, dad rock, and nowadays, it's early 2000 music is dad rock because it's been 20 years since it's been played, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is probably how my parents felt when I was like, I don't like your music at all. I don't understand disco or some of the hip hop that they were listening to. It just isn't the same as what I was listening to.
Yeah, and to me, it's interesting that today's generation, they're going back to the 1940s and they're reliving, those greatest hits of 1940s, 50s, 60s. And to me, it's super exciting because there's a world of information and music out there for everyone to really follow, and a lot of people are doing that.
Especially some of the styles, too. I've noticed the mullet a lot more in the States is starting to make a comeback.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, it's a big laugh for me because I'm over here usually trying to rock the high and tight. Maybe I'll grow it out a little bit. But hey, to each their own, right? All right. I know you had a little bit of information that you wanted to put out as well, YN2. You want to tell us what you got? What's the plan for the week?
Sure. So we have an all-hands call tomorrow at the Flicks Theater at 09. So make sure everyone is there.
Now, that one is for NAFS Day only. I want to make sure that we don't flood the streets. So NAFS Day, we are going to have a awards course tomorrow.
All right. And what else do we have? I know we have some things for the E5s coming up.
Yes, E5 midterms are due September 15th. So all second-class petty officers, make sure you have 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses.
Oh.
All right. And
All
CMC?
Right. Oh, yeah. So, see, once again, my admin department is keeping me straight, making sure that we are doing those midterms. They're so important for everyone. So this weekend we have, or most people are going to have a few extra days off. I know NAFS Day is trying to take a 96. Doesn't always happen because ships pull in, people come and go, and even admin, if we have emergency leaves and things like that, they have to come in and process that information. But some people would get a 96 along the way. And I do want to bring up the MWR team. They're doing an outstanding job with the MWR program, and they have some really exciting trips out there. One of them is during the long weekend, they're going to have a multi-activity tour, and that seems very exciting. If I was not dealing with the CPO season, I definitely would have taken advantage of that. But it's available for everyone, and it's part of the Canyon Descending group that is highly sought after by a lot of people. So if you have the opportunity, take advantage of that trip.
Yeah, I stress that a lot, especially on my radio shows. I talk about tickets and travel almost every hour because you're in Europe. Go and travel. Take advantage of this. Most people don't get to do what we're doing and have the time and resources to do it.
Oh yeah, and one last thing I want to bring up is so traffic safety is important to me, and I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but as I drive to work in the morning, it's pretty dark, and sometimes people try to cross the street in really in type threes, and it's really hard to see you. So please make sure that you look before you cross. If if the crosswalk has those little push buttons that bring the lights up, go ahead and bring them up, because I definitely have a hard time seeing you in the morning. And just know that because I cannot see that well, your kids are in danger. So please make sure your kids are wearing helmets, they're crossing the street in the areas they're supposed to, because they could be run over by someone like me who cannot see out the windshield in the morning. So traffic safety is something important. And of course, keep your speed, to the posted signs. You can never stress that enough.
Yeah, wear a glow belt and stick to the kilometers per hour. Not that hard, right? Do you guys have anything else that you want to add before we come close to the end of our hour?
I just want to shout a couple people out for supporting us. You already know YNC Matthews, whoop whoop, and AO Lieutenant Davis and the whole admin team, and most importantly, my wife. Thank you guys for supporting us.
Yeah, give them a shout out. They're showing a lot of love, trying to support you. Hey, they get their name thrown out there. Hey, it's out there, right?
Oh yeah, big thanks to the admin department, not just in NAFTA Rota, because I know they're doing a great job, but all the other admin departments who normally would not get the credit that they deserve. So kudos to you. Keep pushing that paperwork, taking care of the sailors, because at the end of the day, we will not be able to do any missions if you were not doing yours. So thank you.
And I don't know any other way but to end it with Bohemian Rhapsody. We got a little bit of Queen to finish out our hour, so I hope you guys enjoy it on your drive home.